Me again. I know you've all been wondering where I've been. It's been an entire 24 hours after all. First, I want to clear a couple of things up. Number one, I was not banned by the NYMEX page from Facebook. They had absolutely nothing to do with the banning. The banning was a direct result of certain members on Facebook, members of the New York Mercantile Exchange, who took issue with the fact that I had the nerve to write a book about the exchange. They took issue with the fact that I admitted certain things about myself, such as the fact that to help finance my own personal drug use, which, by the way, was not uncommon amongst most of the people on the floor, which is written in the book, A Crude World, I sold drugs. I did it in order to compensate for the money that I needed. It was not an uncommon practice. Many guys walked around selling bags of weed, selling Vicodin, selling Percocets, selling those little blue pills, those Viagra. Got to be strong for the ladies, and there were a lot of them on the floor. But I wanted to clear that up. The New York Mercantile Exchange page had absolutely nothing to do with my banning from Facebook for what turned out to be 12 hours, not 14, as stated in a previous video. I was banned by certain former members of the New York Mercantile Exchange, men who no longer work on the exchange. Many of them are not even in the industry anymore. Part of the reason why they are not in the industry anymore is because they were nothing but lying crooks to begin with when they were on the floor. They got away with murder. And I write about the tactics, the ways that people went about doing what these men did. I didn't mention any names. I kept everyone's anonymity intact. The only person whose name I mention in the entire book that's real is mine. I take full ownership for everything that I did when I was on the floor. In this book, A Crude World, I tell it all. I cover everything from racial divisions to sexual discrimination, to the way different cliques would interact with each other, the nicknames that we had for each other, the way that Jewish traders would stay with other Jewish traders. And technically speaking, I'm Jewish. I come from a Jewish mother. And I played that card. I write about that also. I played that card to its fullest. I found the most powerful Jewish broker on the floor, and I buried my ass so far up his tuchus, you could smell my breath when he laughed. And I have absolutely no problem with that, because I always said to people who I trained when I was on the floor, and I trained 8 people, maybe more actually when I think about it, but that's really not an important issue. I used to tell them, you kiss ass until someone kisses your ass. The day someone kisses your ass, that's the day you stop doing it yourself, because you don't have to anymore. So that's exactly what I did. I kissed ass. And now I have the book that talks about all of it. I have told the story of the floor. Do you know what's happening right now on the New York Mercantile Exchange page on Facebook, the NYMEX page? For the 3rd day in a row, I am the center of attention. They are attacking me. They keep saying things like, oh, you're running up his book sales. Oh, he's just an attention getter. Oh, he probably never even worked there. Oh, if you leave him alone, he'll eventually go away and we can get on with the rest of our lives. Well, guess what? I had gotten on with the rest of my life. I have reinvented myself twice already since leaving the floor. I became a professional chef when I left in 2004, but my 9/11 related illnesses, which I write about in the book, prevent me from working as a chef anymore. Now I'm an author. I have 3 books. The aforementioned A Crude World, my dark comedy, The Queen and I, and my very first book, the irreverent, hilarious Are You Kosher? Memoirs of a Jewish Vampire, which was released in 2010. I've moved on with my life, and for some reason that seems to bother a lot of people. I don't know if it's the fact that I had the unmitigated temerity to write a book, or the fact that I'm doing what I want to do. I'm living my own personal dream. My dream is to write stories that make people happy, that people can think about. I don't write stories for the morons of the world. There's no pictures in my book. I'm not saying that I'm a pretentious author. Far from it. I don't even believe in writing long chapters. I think the longest chapter I've ever written is 12 pages long. I'm about telling stories. In A Crude World, it is a nonfiction. Everything that I wrote in that book is true. I lie about nothing. I have nothing to lie about. I have nothing to hide. The only thing I do have to hide is the names of the people who were involved. I was actually sent a message 2 days ago by the wife of a former broker who I worked for, asking me point blank, who did he have sexual relations with? My answer to her was, you'll have to ask him. I'm in no position to say. And that's my answer to everyone. You can look on my Facebook page. You can look on my wall. I have written, do not ask me for names because I'm never going to give them. It's not going to happen. Nobody knows the names of the people in that book except me. I have them all written down, and they're in a safe deposit box. And they will stay there. They will never, ever, ever be released. That being said, I have started a new page on Facebook called NYMEX, Now and Forever. It is mainly for former NYMEX, COMEX, Coffee, Sugar and Cocoa, Cotton Exchange, New York Board of Trade. All of those members are welcome on this page. All you have to do is look up NYMEX Now and Forever on Facebook and click Join the Group. I am the administrator of the group. I will look to see who you are, and based on that, I will decide whether or not you are in the group. If I remember you as being nothing but a troublemaker, then odds are you're not going to have a good shot. But if you want to plead your case, by all means, go to my timeline, send me a direct Facebook message, and plead your case to me. And I will make my decision based off of that. But until then, until our next video, I encourage you, for the most controversial book you are going to read this summer. You think Hillary Clinton's got controversy in her book that nobody read and that she was given a $25 million bonus for? Please. She doesn't know what the meaning of controversy is. You want controversy and you want truth from someone who was actually there? You want sordid stories? You want stuff that's going to say, you know, I thought that's how it was, but it was so much worse than even the movies say it was. Let me tell you something. The last movie I saw based on the exchange, not my personal exchange, this was based on stocks, was The Wolf of Wall Street. It was an entertaining movie. It was a piece of garbage, though. I'm sorry. It just was. It was about as believable as, I don't know, a purple unicorn running through Central Park on Halloween. Everything in A Crude World is true. Everything in this book happened. If it didn't, they would not be trying as hard as they are to stop it. They would not be defaming me and slandering me and calling me every single ugly name you can imagine. They would not be threatening me or my family. The book scares the hell out of them. And it's up to you, the reader, to prove them wrong, to support the book, spread the word, let everybody know about A Crude World. Until the next time we speak, good night, my friends. and thank you for your support.